This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, Agun Erev Shabbos Rabbi Sai. We're continuing our series on Tefillah, but we're going to segue this week into something on the Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur davening. Our Tefillah series is sponsored by a good friend, Rabbi Sal Rose of Los Angeles, Nishmas, his brother Tzvi Ben Levi Yitzchak, his Neshama Shem and Aliyah, B'Yameos Yosher for this whole family, for Simchas Anachas Abi Eskel Tzedek. We thank Rabbi Tzalel. He sponsored, this is the second year of the Tefillah series, and Bez Hashem we hope to continue. We're up to Yehi Chavoid. The Sefer Bereshis went to print yesterday. We're hoping, Be'ezus Hashem, it should be ready in the beginning of the new Sefer. The next one that's on the table, if anybody wants to participate, is on Purim for Art Scroll. So that is being worked on, B'siyata D'Shmaya. Okay, so there is an expression in the Tefillahs on Rosh Hashanah, in Shofaros, we say as follows. Now, you're going to say, he's talking about that again. No, we're talking about that again, but this is a new mahalach. We've spoken about this in the past at length, but this is a completely new approach. We say, Ki ata shahoimeya kahoyo shofar umazin teruah v'yein doimelach. There's nobody like God. Baruch atah Adonai Shem Shoimeya Azamcha Yisrael Birachamim. So we say Hashem hears the sound of the shofar. Okay, that makes sense. This is a bracha of Shofaros. Umazin trua. God is attentive to the trua. Now we need to focus on that. Hashem hears the shofar, He's mazin the trua. What is a more interested and intimate type of listening? Shomeya or ha'azana? Shomeya means to listen. You could be walking down the street and you hear construction working, banging. You listen. You're not mazin. Mazin means to really be attentive. So, Ki ata shohimeya kahoyo shofar Hashem umazin trua. When it comes to the trua, Hashem is very attentive. And really the question is, Ve'in doimelach. Ve'in doimelach is a complete non sequitur. There's nobody like God. Okay, shkoyach. You could stick that in anywhere in davening. You could say, Asher Yoshe Veisecha Ve'in doimelach. You could say, Yishtabach Shimchalad Malkeinu Ve'in doimelach. Can't just like stick in randomly the words Ve'en Doimelach. Especially there's a rule in halacha, you need me'en hachasima samach l'chasima. You need close to the end of the bracha something similar to the end. What does Ve'en Doimelach have to do with Hashem listening to the shofar? So in the past we've said a whole mahalach from Rav Moshe Shapiro how Ve'en Doimelach is usually used in the context of Tchias HaMesim, and on Rosh Hashanah it's not that Hashem is granting us another year of life, but Hashem is literally reviving us and resurrecting us. But the holy Pri Megadim, we had the zchus to be at his grave in the border of Germany and Poland. One of the great commentaries on Shulchan Aruch. By the way, Reb Pinchas Friedman wrote a commentary on the Pri Megadim, the Pri Hadar. The Pri Megadim offers an amazing pshat. I want to thank my dear friend, Reb David Aryeh Kurtz of Muncie, Dr. Kurtz, for sending this to me. This is discussed in some of the Svarim of Rabbi Yaakov Galinsky. And here we have it from the Pri Megadim himself. I don't think the Pri Megadim often quotes in Yonei Drush. We once spoke out something from the Pri Megadim about why eating matzah on Erev Pesach is like being boyal arusasai. And here we have something amazing. He brings Shamati b'shem Hagoyin Rabbeinu Chaim Kohen Rappaport Zal of Bezdin Lvov v'Hagalil. He was a rabbi in Lemberg. Shoimea koil shofar pashut tzadik mehikara. When Hashem hears the sound of the shofar, the koil means the pashut, the tkiyah. The tkiyah is someone who he's straight. He was always straight. He was always a tzaddik. He was always righteous. He never wavered. He never broke. But umazin trua, a trua is the Baal Tshuva, the person who sinned and repented. Someone who's libay nishbar yoiser mikarov. Libay nishbar. Hashem is mazin the trua of the Baal Tshuva, whose heart is broken more than someone who is close. Listen to this. When you are attentive to someone, you're closer to them to be able to understand, as opposed to shoimeya is more from a distance. Like in Parshas Ha'azinu, Ha'azinu Hashamayim Va'ada Behira V'sishma Ha'aretz. So it means like this: Ha'azina Hashamayim Va'ada Behira V'sishma Ha'aretz. Ha'azina B'karov. Ha'azina is close by, from close. Shmiya Meirachaik. Ve'in doime. So he means as follows: who is God closer to? Who is Hashem have a stronger connection to? Who does Hashem associate more? Who is dearer to Hashem? Hashem is more close to the teruah, to the Baal Tshuva, to the one who sinned and repented, than he is even to the tzaddik gamor who's a tekiah. Now that's usually not the way people work. That's not how kings work. Kings are always closer to their long-time loyal attendants and servants. But somebody who rebelled and then asked for atonement and forgiveness, there's no way that person ever ends up closer than the long-time loyal attendants of the king. So this is sort of extremely different than the way any other melech works. By other melachim, any other melech is much closer to the tzaddik me'ikara than to the Baal Tshuva. Ve'in doime. We say, God, there's no one like you. That you're shoimeya koil, you're shoimeya kol shofar. For the tzaddik, you listen to them from afar. But for the Baal Tshuva, for the Trua, you're hazin, you're attentive, you come close. Normally, a melech basar v'dam is not mishtamesh b'kelim shavurim, but the Ribono Shel Olam uses the principle of b'makam shabalei tshuva oimdim ein tzadikim gemur michalam la'amayt, and therefore the words ve'ein doimelach are signaling to us the opportunity that is available on the Yom Hadin. Lest you think, okay, I sinned, I'm always going to be, mi bachutz, I'm always going to be on the outside. I'm never going to be one of the, the inner people. I'm not going to be one of the people in the inner circle. No, just the opposite. Hashem is shoimeya kol shofar. When it comes to the pashut, someone who was tzaddik his whole life, God is listening from afar. He becomes closer. He's mazin to the trua. And that's what's available to us on Rosh Hashanah. Because we all have things we need to improve and overcome. And if we're able to do that, then the Ribono Shel Olam will draw us even closer than the tzaddik me'ikara, and that is why we offer the great praise. V'ein doimelach. There's nobody like HaKadosh Baruch Hu that brings closer the trua and the Baal Tshuva even more than the tzaddik me'ikara. Okay, and I have one more item to tell you.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.